The guy who I reviewed yesterday made 4 suggestions total, and while I won't review all 4, I will at least review 2 of them, with the first being reviewed last time in the Yuta suggestion review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Jogo, who is actually pretty well designed and looks like a lot of fun, with plenty of creative concepts behind him that make me give this suggestion an A+. It's a huge improvement from last time, and I genuinely do think that this suggestion would fit into the game. Before we review his suggestion though, take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the button down below, because it truly does help me out in continuing to run my YouTube channel. Now, let's get into the video. Starting with the Jogo suggestion, which he named Meteor Man, I'd say this one's actually really good. It has a lot of creative concepts behind it that I'll be talking about when I review the moves, and it does seem to have a very focused archetype. I think since it's his second suggestion, he seems to have made some improvements, which is something I'll say, because I feel like his first suggestion was inexperienced, while this one is actually pretty good. But enough yapping about me complimenting this suggestion, let's move on to what this guy wants. The R move sends you up into the air with a plume of lava, and sends other people flying into the air as well. And if you press R again, it'll solidify the lava and create a destructible platform. Which is actually a really cool move because being able to create structures sounds like a lot of fun. Only issue being that people could very easily run with this. They could run towards a building, press R, and then get a platform all the way up to escape. But even then in public servers, this isn't actually that big of an issue because you can just chase after them by using wall running. Though, my only gripe is that I hope the destructible platform isn't destructible in the sense that it still floats if you destroy the base. It needs to be able to collapse if you attack it, because otherwise Jogos can stall by creating a destructible platform and just standing on it. Not really running per se, but just stalling, which would just get really annoying. So it'd have to be destructible in a special way that makes it get entirely destroyed if it takes enough damage. First move in the base is Burning Embrace. Grabs the enemy, sets them ablaze, ragdolling them, but not knocking them away, making this a glorified down slam, which isn't that bad of a thing, but it is a glorified down slam at the end of the day. It's not terrible, you know, it's a standard combo tool, but it is a glorified down slam when you think about it. So, not too creative, but then again, not everything needs to be creative. The 2 move is pretty cool. You shoot a beam of flame out of your head, and it will home onto the enemy, but not track. And while I don't exactly understand what he means by that, my assumption is that it will auto-aim, but it won't aim to where the opponent moves. So they can still dodge it, but it'll give you a bit of aim assist. It'll keep the enemy in the air, similarly to Megumi's Rapid Escape, which seems like it'd be useful for comboing out of an uppercut, depending on the startup, or out of the R move. So, pretty cool concept overall. The third move is Burst. You slam the ground and create a pool of lava around you, lighting people on fire, and pressing 3 again will turn the lava into molten rock, which stops someone in place. I think this is a pretty cool concept. Seems like his only combo extender here, and since it's creating a pool of lava, I'd assume this can hit grounded, so you could combo this into the 1 move, which is cool. I like the concept for this move, though I assume it'd have pretty long startup, since you're making a big AoE, which is what I assume is happening from the phrase pool of lava. Finally, 4, which is Ember Bombers, summons 2 Shikigami to explode onto the enemy, and it's blockable. Holding 4 will delay the explosion for a second or 2, and that is supposed to create a 50-50, though in essence that just makes someone have to hold their block for a bit longer. Because this isn't Deep Broken where your block timing actually matters a ton, it's still pretty useful to delay the explosion for a bit, because having that pressure for even longer would let you do the same thing that Megumi does a lot, and you take advantage of that pressure to get a free combo in, either through a forward dash or something else. So I like the concept of this move in general. I think it's cool, especially the delaying the explosion part. That's pretty creative. His Awakening. Now, you erupt in a burst of rage, which is yada yada, the same thing that he did against Gojo. The R move for this is G plus R, and it fills the area around you with lava. This lava, I'd assume, damages people, so it seems like a good aerial denial, which isn't incredibly useful in ults that generally want to chase people, but it's still a good thing overall, especially if you're getting jumped because you can force people to get off your back. And also good for fighting another awakening since, again, get off mutual, and just zoning in general. The first move forms two giant hands to clasp together onto the enemy, burning and crushing them. I'd say this is fine. Seems like it'd be a auto lock on, maybe like Max Elephant, and I think this would just be pretty good. Ragdoll someone or uppercut them, and then use the move, and then now they're taking damage. It's like not too much, there's not too much to say about it, but it just does sound like it fits into an Awakening moveset. Second move is Blaze. You run around with your hands spread, and anybody who comes into contact with you will be set on fire and knocked away. Makes it sound more like Shadow Swarm or Lucky Rushdown, but instead of grabbing people you touch, it just knocks them away and does a lot of damage. I think it's cool, especially for boss raiding, which this Awakening already seems to be pretty good at with all the AoE, so it fits right into what this seems to be designed for, which I kind of like, actually. I like it when designs have clear themes to them, because it makes them feel way more smooth and also more organized when they have a clear design behind it, and it isn't just combo extender and a bunch of moves that might fit together. So I'd say this one is pretty good. The three move is Maximum Meteor, which looks to be the ultimate for this. You wind up before jumping into the air and slamming the ground with a gigantic meteor, leaving the area on fire. And I think this is cool too. Just another generic ultimate move that works. Big AoE, denies area, probably pretty difficult to avoid, but there's enough windups that you can avoid it if you play it the right way. I just like the concept. It fits right in for an Awakening move. And finally, for the 4 move, Coffin of the Iron Mountain. The special gimmick here is that pressing 4 will summon flaming debris at the enemy, which explodes on contact. The only problem with this is that it's definitely weaker compared to the other domains. Being able to summon floating debris at the enemy to explode on contact is not that strong compared to constantly slash someone, letting you basically guarantee a kill, stun someone, making sure that they can't do anything else while you're guaranteed a kill, be able to basically instant kill anyone who's near you for like 3 seconds. Hikari's is not meant to be a standard domain, and Megami doesn't have one. So yeah, this is definitely weaker than the 3 domains in the game so far, but I still appreciate that he's taking the time to try and make it creative. I mean, I think it's a bit overbalanced, really. The domain feels kind of overbalanced, because all of the domains in this game are instant kills besides Hikari, so having something like this just, even though it's not that it doesn't work, but it doesn't have that same power that other domains do, which might make his Awakening a little bit underpowered depending on how this would turn out if Z were to ever adapt this into the game. But it's not a bad suggestion. It's still pretty creative, which I like. And finally, for the passive in the Awakening, which Awakening passives, wait, no, it's not an Awakening passive, it's just a passive for everything. Any debris touching Jogo's lava will turn reddish and passively damage anyone on it, and that just adds to the aerial denial thing. It'd be a menace in public servers for sure, but it's a cool concept that I like. A lot of aerial denial and zoning, while also that's a really big pain to fight, but it does look like a lot of fun just in general. I like this concept. The guy who made this definitely cooked, and I appreciate him for writing this one. If this was his first suggestion, he definitely improved compared to the Yuta one. Overall, this suggestion is just very well designed. There's so many fun concepts, like creating a breakable pillar, and while there is also stuff that needs to be smoothed out in order for it to not completely break the game, the base for a good moveset is there, and that's all that matters, because issues caused by oversights are really easy to fix. This suggestion as a whole gets a good grade from me, mostly for the creative concepts that, while being creative, don't sacrifice functionality. With that, we've reached the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, then please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for even more commentary about Jujutsu Shenanigans. I'm you eternally, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.